everyone, it's Nadia from Yarn Utopia. Here today we're going to make this fabulous trick-or-treat bag. Make sure to watch to the end of this video so you can see how to make different styles. I give information on how to do that, different sizes and all that good stuff. The type of yarn we are going to use for this today is all red heart yarn. So we have, our main color is Orchid here. This is Red Heart Super Saver. It is a size 4 worsted weight medium yarn, so if you need to find something equivalent to that, we are using Orchid for the main color. We're using black, just a little bit of black for the top part, the mouth and the eyeballs, and we're using white, just scraps of white for this part of the eye, and then literally a string of red for the scar. So main color, one skein, no, like a half a skein, less than a half a skein, I guess, of purple, and scraps of the rest. And the size hook we are going to use today is a 5mm hook, H size hook. So get that handy, as well as a scissors and a yarn needle. You'll definitely need a yarn needle for sewing in all these embellishments, so make sure to have that handy. And make sure to check out all the links in the description of this video. I'll have the free pattern for this bag on my website, as well as links to my Facebook. If you make this, please share your photo on Facebook. I want to definitely see this, and if you have a little trick-or-treater, share the photo of your trick-or-treater with this bag. This is so cute, and I'm sure they'll be so cute this Halloween with it. So also check out the links for my Instagram, Snapchat, all those places you can follow me and see behind the scenes kinds of stuff, fun stuff outside of Facebook. And also I want to thank our videographer and editor of this video, Fuad, Azmat, for taking the time out to make this video with us. But let's just get started on making this trick-or-treat bag. Alright, to start out we have to make a slip knot, so put your short end over the long end, fold that down, and then pull that long end through. And pull tight. Insert your hook in that loop, and we're ready to start. So to start off we have to chain 31, so yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. So I won't make you watch all 30, but just chain 31 chains, and then I'll meet you up when I have my 31 chains. Alright, so I just chained 31, so this is what it looks like. And now we are going to work in the second chain from the hook. So the loop that's on your hook never counts as anything. So we're going to count 1 and 2. And you can see our chain looks like this, but we're going to work in the back ridges because we're also going to work on the other side when we get, I'll explain it later. But we're going to work in these back ridges here. Okay, so if you turn your chain toward you, you see these back ridges. We're going to work in there. So count 1 and 2 and go into that second chain for a single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through, yarn over, and pull through both loops. That's a single crochet. So now go into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. In the back ridge of the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so we're just going to single crochet all the way across this entire chain. So you'll have 30 single crochets at the end of this round, but I'll show you, we are going to go on, like turn it around and work on the opposite end of our foundation chain. So I'll show you how to do that once I get to the end of this row. Alright, once you get to the very last chain, I know I said to just do 1 single crochet all the way around, but you actually, in this last chain, you want to put 3 single crochets. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then put another one in there, and 1 more. Okay, so now I'm turning this around, so you see we were working at it like this. We're going to turn this around and work on the bottom side of our foundation chain. We're not going to work in this first one here because we just put 3 in there. So we're going to work in this next one and just single crochet around. So insert your hook in the next one, and you know what, you can actually crochet over the top of the straggler too, so you don't have to sew it in later. So put your straggler over the top of that and then crochet single crochets around the straggler into each stitch all the way across then this bottom side, just like this. Super simple. So I'll just single crochet all the way across. In the very last stitch then, put 2 single crochets in there, and I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll go on to round 2 together. Alright, so now we're in this last stitch here. We have to, since we already put 1 in there from the beginning, this one, we need to put 2 in there, so there's a total of 3. So put 1 and 2. Okay, so now we're at the beginning here. This is our first single crochet right there. What I'm going to do is put a stitch marker right here to notify myself, to let myself know that this is the beginning, because we are going to work in continuous rounds. So you can move your stitch marker up every round if you'd like, or just keep it there and you can eyeball it, I guess. And we are only going to work in the back loops only for the rest of this pattern, or for the rest of this purple part of this pattern, I guess. So we usually go through both of these loops. This is the front loop, this is the back loop. So we are going to go through the back loop just like this. Okay, so I'll show you. So we're just going to do single crochets continuously all the way around. So just insert your hook in the back loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Go into the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Go into the next, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And just do that all the way around this round, let's see, it says round 2, and we're going to do till round 30. Okay? So I will just meet you up then when I have finished round 30. You're just going to work in a continuous spiral until you have 30 rounds total. So, and then once we get to that point, I'll show you how to change color, and we'll change to color black. And then we'll do a few rounds of black, and then fasten off, and then we'll make the face and the straps. So it's a very simple pattern. So I'll show you once I finish round 30, we'll go on to round 31 together. Alright, I'm just finishing up the few last stitches here. You want to make sure on round 30 that you end on the side. So this is what it's going to look like. So you want to make sure that you're ending on either this side or this side. Doesn't really matter, nobody's going to notice. But this is what it looks like so far. And now we're going to switch to black. And we're going to do 5 rounds of black for like the monster's hair, or the top of his head, basically. So let me grab my black here. So to change color, you want to go into the next stitch, and again we're working in the back loops only. So then yarn over, pull through, and then drop your old color, your purple, and pick up the black, or your new color. Just loop that, just fold that in half and loop it on the hook, and then pull that through to finish off that single crochet. Then we drop the stragglers in the back, and then we just continue on working single crochets all the way around. For round 31 through 35, we are going to be just doing 1 single crochet. So round 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35, we are just doing 1 single crochet in the back loop only. Now once you get to this point, I'm going to pause here and I'm going to show you how to fasten off on this purple. I'm going to cut that, and then you want to tie a knot in the back. So you can see there, I just tied a little knot, and then I'll sew those ends in later. So there you go. Now we don't have to worry about the purple anymore. We're just working with the black, and we are just single crocheting in each stitch around for rounds 31 through 35. After round 35, I'll show you how to fasten off and we'll make the handles. Alright, I'm just finishing round 35 here, and now to fasten off, so we're at the point where we just at the beginning here, so you can see that. And now to fasten off, we just need to slip stitch into the next stitch. So insert your hook under both loops. Okay, so we're not going to go through just the back loop, we're going under both loops, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And then to fasten off, I just chain up one, cut my yarn, and pull that all the way through, and pull tight. Okay, then I just sew in this end here with my yarn needle. Oopsie. Okay, so just go underneath some of the stitches. Okay, and then pull that all the way through. And then stretch it out. And then cut off any excess. Just like that. Okay, now this should be on the side. Just like that. So not even noticeable at all. And now we can work on the handles. So since this is kind of showing on this side a little bit, I'm going to flip this over and use this side as my front, where I'm going to put my face. But for the handles, I'm going to set this aside and we'll work on the handles right away. And this is with black yarn. We have to make a slip knot, but make sure to have a little bit of a longer tail at this end. So about 6 inches. And fold that over the long end and then fold that down and then pull that through. So your straggler is going to be quite longer because we are going to use that for sewing in later. And then you need to chain 32. So yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I won't make you watch all 32, so just chain 32 and I'll meet you up to go on to row 1. Alright, this is what our chain looks like. I have 32 chains. Now on the third chain from the hook, we are going to put a double crochet. So the loop that's on your hook never counts as anything, so count 1, 2, and 3 right in here. And I'm going to work in the back ridges here. So you can see our chain looks like this. I'm going to turn it toward me like this, and you can see the back ridges on the back of the chain. We're going to work through those. So again, go through the third chain from the hook, so 1, 2, and 3, yarn over, go into that chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. That's a double crochet. So go, yarn over, go into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we're just going to continue putting a double crochet into each chain across, and you should have 30 double crochets at the end of this row, and I'll meet you up to go on to row 2. Alright, I'm just finishing the last double crochet on this row here, so this is what it looks like. Now we're going to go on to row 2, so chain up 2, 1 and 2, turn your work just like that. And now we're going to put 1 double crochet in each stitch across for a total of 30 double crochets. So don't forget to put one in here. This chain of 2 doesn't count as anything and you're not going to see it when you sew it on. So we're going to put a double crochet in this first one. And then 1 double crochet in each stitch across for a total of 30 double crochets. So at the end of this row, then I'll show you how to fasten off and we'll sew these this to our bag. Alright, I'm just finishing up here. Now we have to fasten off, so chain 1 and cut your yarn a little bit longer because we're going to use that for sewing, and then pull that all the way through and pull tight. Okay, so just rewind this segment and make another strap, and then we will sew them to our candy bag. Alright, so I just made another one here, and now we're going to sew this to our candy bag. So what we're going to do is go from the inside. We're going to position this on one side, and then without twisting it, we're going to sew it to the other side. But you want to make sure that it's sort of like centered on the bag so it's not lopsided or anything. So you kind of have to eyeball it to make it center. So this is a good spot right here. So just yarn your needle and then sew just back and forth like this. Here, I'm going to turn this around so you can see. So we're just going to go from here and go down to like the third row in or something, and go in and out of the stitches. Just like that. And then up and around to make sure that it's fully secure. Then to fasten off, I just like to go underneath a couple of stitches, put my finger in here to make a loop, put my yarn through here to make a knot, and pull tight. And I do that a couple of times. So go into a stitch, loop around it, go in with your needle through that loop, and then pull that tight. Then you can sew in your straggler behind some stitches. Like that. And then cut whatever is excess, stretch that out, and there, that's sewn to your bag. So now without twisting this then, you want this to go like this, and make sure that it is center right here, and do the same thing with the other side, and then do the same thing for the other strap. So I'll meet you up when I have both straps attached, and we will then make the face of our monster on this bag. Alright, so I just finished sewing on these straps here, so this is what it looks like. Lovely. So now we're going to set the bag aside and we're going to make the embellishments for a face. Now you could be done at this point. You could just have the 2-color bag and it's a cute little trick-or-treat bag. But I like to put little monster faces on mine, so I'm going to put embellishments on here. So what we're going to do is make a mouth. And the mouth is just basically a chain. So make your slip knot, so put your short end over the long end, fold that down and pull that through, and the mouth we need to chain 30. So yarn over, pull through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've seen me do a chain already twice in this video. So just chain 30 and then I'll show you how to fasten off, and we will sew this onto the bag. Alright, so to fasten off, we just need to cut our yarn, but we're going to cut it quite long because we're going to use this for sewing. And then just pull that all the way through your chain, and then pull tight. Okay, that is going to be our mouth, but you know what, I said we were going to sew this on, but we're actually going to just set it aside and we're going to sew on all of our pieces at the same time. So now we need to make the eyes, so make sure you have white handy. Okay, and for the eyes, we're going to make one small and one big. So make a slip knot, and then we are going to chain 2, so yarn over, pull through, 1 and 2, and now in the second chain from the hook, we are going to put 6 single crochets. So insert your hook in that second chain from the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, that's a single crochet, so make 5 more for a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you can see that I'm working in a circular motion, so you can see like that. Now if you need to, count back 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we are going to work in the back loops only, and remember how we did it on the bag itself? We are going to work through the back loops, but we need a contrasting color or a stitch marker or something, because we're working in continuous rounds. We're not attaching, slip stitching, and chaining up anything. So working in the back loop only here, we're going to make 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So go into that stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then go back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Go into the next stitch in the back loop only and make 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. And we're going to put 2 single crochets in the back loop only on this next one, and in every single one around. So you'll have a total of 12 single crochets on this round. So I'm more than halfway there. 1, 2, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. If you need to count back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You can do that. Now we're going to go on to round 3. And we are going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch, working in the back loops only again. 2 single crochets in the first stitch and 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So insert your hook for 2 single crochets in this first stitch, and then in the next stitch just put 1 single crochet. And then repeat that all the way around, so put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next. And then 2 in the next, and then 1 in the next. 2 single crochets in the next, and 1 in the next. So at the end of this round you'll have 18 single crochets. I'm almost there on my last one here, and then I'll show you how to fasten off after this. This is our last round for the smaller eye. Okay, so once you have 18 single crochets around, this is what it should look like. You can remove your stitch marker and slip stitch to the next stitch, which is our first single crochet of that round. Yarn over, pull through, and pull tight. And then to fasten off, I just chain up 1 and then cut my yarn a long piece, just like that, pull tight, and there is 1 eye. Now to make the black pupil in the middle there, we need black, and make a slip knot, and basically just repeat round 1 of what we did with the white. So chain 2 and put 6 single crochets in the second chain from the hook, exactly how we did round 1 for the white part of the eye. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we don't have to go on to any more rounds. We're just going to fasten off. So go into the first single crochet. If you have to count back 6, do that. Insert your hook in the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then fasten off that. So chain up 1, cut your yarn long, and pull that all the way through for sewing. Okay, and now we have this like this. So we're going to sew that onto there. Now for the bigger eye, get your white back, and we're going to make a slip knot. And now we're going to repeat the whole rounds 1 through 3 on the first eye, but then we're also going to make a 4th round. So do rounds 1 through 3 from the first eye, and then I'll meet you up to do the next round on this next eye. Alright, so I just finished round 3 from the first eye, and now we need to make this one bigger though. I mean, if you want to, you can fasten this off and have 2 of the same size eyes, and that's totally fine. But I want to make this one a little bit bigger, so we are going to increase for round 4. So in this first stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets, and then the next 2 stitches we're just going to put 1 single crochet. So if you need to, put your stitch marker in there. So put 2 single crochets in this first stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1 and 1. And then repeat that around. So put 2 single crochet in the next, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then repeat 2 single crochet in the next, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And again. So at the end of this round, you'll have 24 half double crochets, or I'm sorry, single crochets. Why did I say half double? I have no idea. So these are single crochets. So you'll have 24 single crochets at the end of this round, and I'm almost there. I'll just show you how to fasten off. I'm on my last grouping here, 2 in the same, and then 1 in the next 2 stitches. And then to fasten off, just like how we did for the first eye, just insert your hook underneath both loops of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then to fasten off, I usually just chain 1, cut the yarn long, and pull it all the way through. And I just removed my stitch marker as well. So this is our larger eye. And then make sure to make another one of those black pupils that we made for the first eye, so we have it like this. So this is what our little monster is going to kind of look like, and then I'm going to make the mouth like this, squiggly mouth, and we're going to make a scar as well. So get your red yarn, and that's just a little bit of scraps, so we're going to chain. And so make a slip knot and chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then cut the yarn really long because we're going to make stitches out of it when we sew this on, and pull that all the way through and pull tight. Okay, so this is our scar. And we're going to use this straggler, this long straggler, to make the stitches across when we sew that on. So let's get sewing. So let's see here. We'll start with the eyes. So what we need to do, what I usually do, you can kind of just watch what I do. Let's pull that through. And then yarn my needle. If I can. Okay. And then just go in from the top. Okay, and then back out from the bottom, and just go back and forth around this piece until it is fully secure. And then what I like to do is go to the back and take this straggler and tie it in a knot. Just like that. Then you can cut these stragglers shorter and put that down there, and then do it to the other one here. Okay, so then just again repeat that, going back and forth through the stitches. You want to make sure that this pupil is going around round one of the white of the eye. I mean, you could make them like googly-eyed too, if you wanted. That's totally fine, creator's choice. Okay, then we're going to knot this. You can knot it twice or 3 times, totally up to you. I usually just knot it twice. It's pretty secure. And then cut those. Okay, then position your eyeballs where you want them to be, and we can sew those on. So to sew them on, make sure your stragglers are behind the eye. I'm gonna put my hand inside of the bag because I don't want to sew my bag closed and go through both layers of the bag. Okay, so I'm just going back and forth around this eyeball, making sure the stragglers are hidden. And you want to just go through each stitch or skip a stitch underneath, it does not matter, just to make sure that it is secure on the bag. And you want to manipulate it a little bit to make sure that it stays its perfect circle shape. Okay, so once you have it sewn all the way around, go back in to the bag with your needle and pull that all the way through. And then, like I showed you earlier, we're going to just take it in a few stitches like this. I did the same things with the straps. Just go under some stitches and do some loops and make some knots, and then hide your straggler underneath and cut the excess. Okay, so sew on your other eye, and then I'll meet you up and we'll sew on the mouth and the scar together. Alright, so I just sewed on this other eye here. Now we want to sew on the mouth, and this mouth you can really, I mean, get creative with it. You can make it go like this. That's kind of funny. You can just do one little wave, which I'm gonna do. You can make it a smile. You can really get creative with that. And if you want it a smaller mouth, like if you want it just like this, you don't have to chain as many, so you don't have to chain all 30. You could chain like 15 and just have like a straight mouth, maybe make a tooth or something. So to sew this on, we need to turn this upside down so we can get into the bag, and start where you want to, or take the small straggler side and pull that through to the other side, like that. And we will be tying a knot later with that. And then position this how you want it to look. So I'm gonna have it look like this. Okay, just like that. So then yarn your needle with this end, with this long end here. Okay, and then, oopsie, we're going to sew this on. Just want to make sure that it looks good. There we go. And make sure you do not go through both layers. So if you have to, put your hand inside of the bag. And just go through this chains and through the top the first layer of the bag. Do not sew this bag closed. Your kid's going to be mad at you that there's not enough room for all their candy. So just go back and forth through the chains, just like this, carefully. And you don't want to, you want to stretch it out to make sure that it lays flat. Okay, so this is a little tedious. So I'm going to sew this on how I like it, and then I will meet you up and show you how to fasten off on this part. Alright, so I'm just putting the last stitch in here. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And now, to fasten off, what we need to do is actually turn this bag inside out, like this. And you can see that my straggler from the beginning is here, and the one that I'm sewing with is here. And we're just going to tie those two together in a knot. And that's it. Alright, so just sew in that straggler that we cut off there, or that we tied together there. And now we're going to put the scar right about here. Okay, so we're basically going to attach this just like how we attach the mouth. So take that short straggler and pull that through. Okay, and then take your long piece and use your yarn needle for that. Okay, and then just go back and forth through the chains. Just like that. And then, once you're at this last one here, go up to this side, and then across to this side, and do it twice. Okay, and then go to the middle, and do that one twice. Okay, so we're just embroidering the scar here. Oopsie, I wasn't supposed to come back out, actually. So only do that twice. Okay, and then go on to the third one down here. And do that one twice. Okay, then to fasten this off, we're going to go into the inside, and we're going to weave this underneath some of these stitches here, up to the top, back to where this straggler is, and tie those two together in a knot, and then you can sew those ends in. And there you have the scar. The stitches, the spooky stitches. So there you have it. Our bag is complete. Yay! You know, you can add a little embellishment like a tooth here. You can add like stitches for a nose. You can add like if you're making this in green, if you make Frankenstein, you can add little bolts on each side of the bag. You can make this orange and make triangular eyes if you know how to make triangles, or like a crazy mouth, like make it a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern style. The possibilities are endless. Also, I may get questions on how to make this a little bigger because, let's face it, your kid is probably going to hit the mother load this Halloween, so you might need to make this a little bit bigger. If you do, just chain more at the bottom here. We chained 31, and we have 30, you know, single crochet across this side, so there's 64 single crochet around. but you can chain, you know, 40 or 50 and make this wider and make it taller. I mean, the possibilities are endless. This is such a versatile pattern, and you can change up the colors, you can change up the design. If you want this strap to be longer, just chain more. So we chained 32, you can chain up to 40 or 50 even, make this a longer strap. You can make the eyes both the same size, or you can just leave it plain and have just a plain bag, just like this looking. This is cute. You know, you can use this for candy. You can put your iPad in there, or your tablet, or whatever you have. You know, you do whatever you want with this bag. But this is Halloween themed for this video, but you can make it your own and get creative with it. So I just want to thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Check out all the links in the description of this video. The pattern for this specific bag will be in the pattern will be on my website, so I'll put the link there. The written pattern is for free, and make sure to check out the rest of the links. I'll have my Facebook, my Instagram, my Snapchat. Make sure to follow me all those places. And I want to thank our videographer and photographer and editor of this video and all of our pictures, Fuad Azmat, for taking the time out to do this with us. Thanks for watching. Happy hooking!